There's nothing quite like the relation of a mother to her children, and if that mother has been away from her children for a while, the reunion becomes even more beautiful. We saw something similar in McKinley Elementary School, where a mother who had been away from her son for a long time met him by disguising herself as the school mascot. The boy just could not believe his luck and his eyes, as he was left in a state of shock. There's simply too much the mothers who send their sons to armed forces have to go through, but the moment when they come back home all safe and sound just makes the wait even more worth it. Here we have a US soldier who came home early just to surprise his mother who was at work, and her reaction was simply priceless. Brothers are often role models for their siblings. They're the ones who are looked up to by the young ones, and when a certain relation of love and respect is built, it's just beyond comprehension. Take a look at this US Marine who came back home unannounced and surprised his brother at his basketball game. The reaction of the brother was simply beautiful. Among all relations of love and respect, the relation of partners is simply beyond compare. Having your partner being so far away sure is testing for both the parties. We saw an example of this in the 76ers game, when a cheerleader's boyfriend came to her game unannounced after completing his service, and his girlfriend's reaction was extremely precious. The first and the last game of an athlete's career holds an utmost importance to him, and to have your loved ones there by your side on those moments is incredibly beautiful. In this next video, we have a brother serving in the military making a surprise appearance at his sister's last game. The girl just could not believe her eyes and rushed straight towards her brother to hug him, and the emotions came bursting through the gates.
Oh, look how emotional they both are.
Next in the list, we've got a guy serving in the military who made a sudden appearance at a basketball game for his family, who were actually thinking he was thousands of miles away. The entire stadium stood on their feet, and the cheers just could not get any louder as he entered the stadium. It was simply a beautiful reunion. Moving on, we have a military mother who decided to show up at her daughter's basketball game without her daughter knowing about it in the slightest. She had simply no idea what to expect, but when she saw her mother, she was left in a state of shock. The daughter just could not believe her eyes. I don't know about you, but that's enough to make a grown man cry. A loved one turning up at your graduation ceremony does sound beautiful, but if that loved one is no other than your daughter who serves in the military in Afghanistan, who you haven't seen in a long time, it's enough to make a person oblivious to all feelings. Something similar can be seen in this video, when a daughter serving in Afghanistan came to her veteran mother's graduation. She just could not hide her emotions. Next up, we have a video of a soldier who was supposed to come back to his family from his military service in Afghanistan, and they intended to go to watch the Blackhawks play. But the family had no idea what was about to happen. After a little message from the soldier was played on the big screen, he made a mega appearance at the stadium, and the family was left speechless. The moment was very overwhelming and was enough to make a grown man cry. Graduation is a moment which holds a lot of significance in a student's life, and it's nice to have your loved ones there by your side, but if a loved one you haven't seen in a long while makes a surprise appearance at your graduation, you're right to burst into tears. This was seen when a grad was busy delivering his graduation speech, when all of a sudden, his military father made a surprise appearance to his son's graduation ceremony. The grad just could not believe his eyes, and then burst into tears. The reaction was priceless. Families of people serving in the Navy don't get to see them very often because of obvious reasons. But when they do get to meet them, it's simply beautiful to watch. This was on display when a Navy lieutenant decided to surprise her sister at her graduation ceremony. It was enough to make anyone go, "Aww." Soldiers surprising their families at basketball games has been a tradition for a long time, and it just never gets old. Here, we have a soldier who was supposed to come back home to his family after service, but in a video message played in the stadium, he said he could not get back in time, and it made everyone quite sad. But to everyone's surprise, it was actually not the case, and he made a surprise appearance at the stadium, causing the stadium to burst into cheers and claps. The family just could not believe what they had just seen, but the emotions came running through in a short while. Next up, we have another video of a mother who, after serving in the military, came to surprise her 13-year-old son at his basketball game, and he just could not believe his eyes.
He cried a little bit, but that's okay. That was his natural reaction. That was Derek. And that's really the reaction I thought he would have.
I miss you. Okay, you're right.
Soldiers making a surprise appearance for their loved ones at their special moments sure is a moment of pure joy and love. But when that loved one is your mother, it adds a lot of significance to the event. As we see in this video, an Indiana soldier makes a surprise appearance at her daughter's Christmas concert. The reaction of the girl just can't be put to words as she rushed towards her mother to hug her. It was simply lovely and overwhelming, to say the least. Last but not least, we have a clip of a military mother who, after serving in the Kandahar province of Afghanistan for 6 months, came back home and announced her arrival in a beautiful fashion. The mother turned up at her daughter's football game out of the blue, and the daughter had no words whatsoever. Only thing she had was a lot of hugs for her mother, who she was meeting after 6 months. It was simply way too beautiful. Click on one of the 2 videos on your screen right now, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.